For this week, we're gonna talk about the Mark Sharp and Dohme Argentina case. Uh, let's see how was the company and how the new CEO brings change for the company. See the before and the after, and the conflict that this could generate in the company. To start with the case, we're gonna talk about to a little part of the history of the company. Uh, in 1915, company HK Mulford was authorized to be a local distributor. In 1936, Sharp and Dohme enters in Argentina. In 1954, Mark and Co. entered to Argentina too. In 1958, joins Merck, Sharp and Dohme for Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. In 1978, no, 1979, install a factory in Pilar, Argentina. Other important things that we can to say is the hyperinflation in 1980s and stagflation in Argentina. In 1988, Institute Sidious obtained rights to produce and distribute traditional non-news, so traditional products in Argentina and Paraguay. Um, in what in Merck Shop and Dom, and in night 1999, the company remains a strong market position in Argentina with 2.8 billions of dollars. Now we're gonna talk about the context of the company in Argentina. In 1996, arrives Antonio Mosquera as CEO to transform the subsidiary isolated in a modern business organization. There are 50 years of nationalist tradition of doing business in Argentina. That means protectionism, authoritarianism. Uh, Also, we know that Argentina in this moment had a high inflation and non-competitive economic, very for the instant of the economic. Also, President Menem in 19th made drastic reforms and have opened the country to the world market. Monetary reforms to reduce the inflation and expansion of the GDP of the country to in 1994. Economic practice then imply the sales of the state's stereo price and the International Monetary Fund monitoring guidelines that would lead to the collapse of Argentina. They were modernized. Also, the administration operated under a rigid hierarchy, organizational culture, and administrative structure must be transformed into a company. All major decisions are taken by the general manager and four department heads. Only these 5 persons were who took the decision for the company. Um, Employees only follow the orders. Innovation and personal initiative is rejected, and the promotion promotion is based on a personal relationship into the company. And there is a problem because if you don't are friends to the manager of the department, going to be really difficult that you have a promotion. Um, Also, with the pyramidal, pa, pa, pyramidal profile of the company, functions are kept separate and are vertical relationship in the company. So the CEO and his for managers of departments. For the in the company they are in this moment 175 employees in 1995. Half of them are sellers, and admission is confined to the friends and relatives of the members of the company. It is not attractive bonding or doctors or general practitioners. With the new CEO, the company have a restructuring plan in Argentina, and the restructuring plan is removal of the management team. They're gonna have a new structure with 12 directors. Previously, we know that only were four. Now there are 12. No supervisors, but administrators make informed decision to the expand market. Um, Also, a break with the silos, a parallel function such as sales, marketing, finance, and research institute. Um, New organizational culture based on communication, personally initiative, and not authoritarian decisions. Create training unit training, and then they're gonna call learning many things and development, personal and professional growth, education for both, and new and old employees in a open system in the new organization of the company. The new CEO wants to do emphasis on ethics, promotional promoting transparency describes as handing public information without secrets and good communication. Ethical behavior becomes an obsession since the arrival of the new CEO, Mosquera, as general manager. A common form of corruption is spelled in incentive payment to the physicians to prescribe certain medicines. The company policy was not to paying, but more incentive to convince customers to choose Merck because they are the better in quality. Not for the company pay for it. So the consumer going to choose the company, not the company going to pull to the final customer use the product. And he promoted the creation of a foundation to promote the public ethic and against the practice of paying bribes to the politicians. So now they want to avoid the corruption or the bad practice to in into the company and in the way to the company relation with the others institution or with the other persons. And the CEO said that we need to help change the environment and we can to expect the atmosphere change itself. So ethical standards are of a particular relevance in an international pharmaceutical companies. Patent protection is missing, and there are clandestine laboratories that predict protectionism. The two largest pharmaceutical companies were locals who made their profits on generic product without considering patents. That the patent is the mechanism to 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 ha- to save or to to look after of the interest of the person who developed it. As we already said, the company wants to make a restructuring plan and emphasis in ethic and the strategic to make a emphasis in ethics is following. Defining a mission and vision in values and, and values of the organization that all employees could easily access from their computers. uh, conducting seminars on ethics that everyone must to practice. Another one is exhortation to the example of the all administrators. Other strategy is to your success in evidence. It looks leaders outside the pharmaceutical industry breaking a traditional procedure. Uh, he wanted people who had decision and be flexible to have a new a new generation of employers in the company with other vision and with other way to work. It was accessible to employees and encouraged to respond to the change in organization culture. Also, the CEO focused Salesforce to market other physicians, hospitals, clinics, pharmaceutical health organization, who they were not visited and were not used to taking bribes. And in 1996, its objective was sales growth of 26%. It introduction of the new products, cultural change, strategic planning, recruitment, and strategy for reorienting reorienting the protection of intellectual property in Argentina. That is the problem with the that they want to do with the patents because the other pharmaceuticals they only made a generic product without respect the patents. Um, in Argentina, one of the candidates was the son of the highest official of the government health program and the largest health organization in Argentina. And this means a good opportunity for the company if he can take the job. And this situation represented an excellent opportunity to increase sales and ensure that all drugs of the company were included in the list of a candidate's drugs basicals. He was ranked in a position 16 below the admitted they were in 15 HR director, training and development unit. Asked Mosquera to reconsider the situation, but went to his office to think what to do because he is a big decision for the CEO because if he want to change the 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 organization, the way that they work, they want to to make a emphasis on ethics. This kind of contract or give to he the this job could to be or could to show to the employers or something different that the CEO wants to show. So that was the case. Now we're gonna continue with some problematics and conclusions in the case.
Hi, as my partner says, uh, before all the case, it's about Merck, Shark, and Dohme in Argentina. So I want to like highlight some aspects before enter to the solution because it's important to highlight this. First of all, is that the intern program was developed by the CEO, the actual CEO, Mosquera, and Quintero, that was uh, like his right hand in all this process. And the program has intention to be a tool to groom people in their final year of college for a possible career with the company. Uh, it They advertise the internship at college campuses in Argentina, but enlist an outside consulting firm to handle the actual recruiting. The consulting company accept like 1,200 applicants and choose about 7 for personal interviews and variety for psychology and problem-solving tests. 30 of those candidates were selected to participate in a 2-week program overseen by MSD director. And the director of this program was Ziverin, from the area of development and training, who she needs to test their skills in a variety of interactive exercises. The candidates were judged on a point system, and the total points each candidate generated determined the final ranking. The selection process was carefully spelled out to the candidate, and the 50 chosen for the internship will be assigned to assist sales representatives for one of the job training experience. They will work about 20 hours a week, usually in the late afternoons, and were employed for a period of 6 months. And its discretion, MSD might extend the internship for another 3 or 6 months. When the students graduate from college, the company will offer employment to those interns found more promising. Their internships carry a very good stipend for all the participants. And the company do this program because they think that the experience was valuable to, and maybe will help the interns to have like best points in the resumes. Well, it's important to say that all of the problem it's around how to choose if they have to choose one candidate, or no, because the links he has, uh, that maybe can help MSD in Argentina. So I need also to highlight that Mosquera, the actual CEO, created an integral plan that was meant to be according to change the company's culture and professionalize the organization. Um, the idea is that all the things that were like harming the well or the well organization and the activities in the subsidiary in Argentina were were erased, and that can like be improved, all the things that were wrong there. So the problem is that they chosen already the 15 covered spots by the interns that they have at the moment. But the ring, that is the person that is in charge of the program of training and develop, she knew recently that one of the candidates that was the son of a high-ranking official in the government's national healthcare program for government retirees. And this is the single largest healthcare organization in the country. So the student present in the company workforce, the California state will afford MSD an excellent opportunity to increase sales by ensuring that all its drugs were included in the government healthcare formulary. It's important to take into account that business in Argentina has long been conducted through a web of personal connections, and any company would envy MSD for its unexpected advantage. However, this particular individual was ranked number 16 on Ring's list. So he's just below the code, just below the cut. She feels that this is like a conflict of interest policy in Merck. So she asked for the CEO for like advice, and that's why he the CEO decided to put the case in discussion with all of his close group, that is the director of human resources, the director of sales, and the manager of the area of training and development, in turn to make a recommendation and explain it before the group what will be the form of proceed of them. So, also, it's important to take in account that Merck survived in Argentina because the conventional volumes of all this project that placed it constantly among the top-tier pharmaceutical firms in Argentina. Also, in the recent years, Argentine companies face a crucial need to modernize business and practices and business culture, and have been formed under decades of uncompetitive post-economy ones. The country explored economic expansion that allowed that foreign companies that may enter to the country. This is important. Why? Because the situation in Argentina, it's also important because they affect direct to the organization. For example, that if the economic expansion like allow that foreign companies enter in the country that made that the national enterprise need to be better and develop a competitive advantage. However, the foreign enterprise had already this competitive advantage. That's why Merck is positioned as one of the first pharmaceuticals, because they already knew and explored this competitive advantage. It's important that um, Mosquera, the CEO, already has like a cultural baggage because he worked in Spain, England, USA, and Canada. So he has like the approach of these methodologies of work and learn a lot of how to proceed in certain situations. He also had a lot of studies. He worked in the financial controller department and he was a sales representative. He was a product manager and a sales director in these countries. And later was when he opted for being an executive director for Argentina. So he felt that the business environment in Argentina warranted a more competitive presence there, and so to bring its subsidiary up to the same standard expected in other countries. Though the company was not a financial crisis, sales remained flat, and competition was intensifying as foreign manufacturers began to re-enter in Argentina market. That's why in the first 2 months, he conducted his own analysis of the company and concluded that MSD's culture was management structure had to be truly transformed. He noted that MSD shared many of the same characteristics that plague other Argentine business. Management operated according to the rigid hierarchy, with an important decision making in the hands of the managing director and through up for the department of directors. The first, the first problem he solved, um, like helping that all the areas have like their autonomy and have like a synergy between them. And about the director, he don't have 3 or 4 department of directors. He have like 12 because he thinks that they don't have like all the power for themselves, so they need to expand their power and, and allow that other parts of the enterprise were heard. He also saw that the organization was pyramid shaped and the functions were maintained separately and relationships were structurally vertical. Departments conduct business largely obvious of one another, with little sharings of information and cross-coordination even for product promotions. Employees did not only what they were told, and innovation and personal initiative were discouraged. Advancements was based on personal relationships nurtured over many years, which means that powerful cliques dominate the organizations. Many managers also lack professional education. Their knowledge of the pharmaceutical market was based on street smarts, masters through years of experience in an industry that operated largely by routine. That's why Argentine companies couldn't attract physici- physicians or other professionals to work with their sales departments, as was common in other countries. The admission to the program was generally confined to friends and relatives of members, also important positions in the company. So it was very bureaucratic. So that's why he gave himself 1 year to rebuild the top management team and get the right people in the right place. Changing the culture he knew would take much longer, a minimum of 3 years, as he was expecting. It's important to say also that Mosquera was guided by 3 interrelated goals. a flatter, more integrated management structure that means no silos, complete transparency, and empowerment. So, taking into account that, as we said, he dismissed the hierarchical structure and he improved this sharing with 12 directors the decisions that he made. He also decided to break down the silos. So the term, that means the term that it describes two parallel functions like sales, marketing, finance, and research, which were hierarchy organized and independently managed. He also reorganized the company into business units around key product lines and related activities. Each unit was responsible for carrying out the multiple tasks previously has been performed independently by silos. The business units try to eliminate a layer of bureaucracy and engage managers significant more authority to take quick, decisive action, and also determine that the head of the business unit was commercial manager, a position that required knowledge and talent in many different areas. I mistake a little, but this means that they gave like a person that was really a court for the for the for the position. That's why he opted for a commercial manager. And he eliminated all this layer of bureaucracy because he wanted that the time was more efficient. So that's why he did that. He did that. And he also gave like other things like training, capacitations, and other things because he thought that that's one like the lockups that keep MSD far away from the other subsidiaries around the world. He also promoted transparency, and that means that no secrets, full disclosure, and good communication through the organization to every employee. Taking in account that, he thinks that it's important not to not to lie. You need to be like very clear about your capacities, the real situation of the company, and all of the things between your coworkers. And he also emphasized on ethics, and the ethical behavior was an obsession of him because he thinks that is the foundation of the new culture of MSD. And that's why he no pay incentives for adopt MSD as the first pharmaceutical in certain case. He thinks that the most important is convincing customers to choose Merck products because they were the best remedies in the market and overall the first for their patients. So he emphasized that he didn't tolerate the corruption that was like a significant issue in the Argentine society. So he chose to be an active person in the Public Ethics Foundation, a group of businessmen and other concerned citizens endured to reduce the level of corruption in the country and also in the organizations. So the ethical standards, moreover, have a particular relevance for multinational pharmaceutical companies because of the serious problems that they face in Argentina. That's why Scared thinks that this is like no change statement for this subsidiary. Taking into account all of this, I think it's important also say the ideas of the other three parts. The first is Cristina Quintero, the Human Resource Director, and she was very accord with all the ideas that Mosquera has. So she looked forward to the challenge of changing the general attitude of employees and created a new culture centered on empowerment, transparency, and flatter hierarchy. And she also was very empathetic with the idea that the MSD need to emphasize all this culture and ethics. And she said that uh, in Argentina the high levels of corruption was like accept of like a part of everyday life in all of the people of the country. So she feels that it's important to change this perception of the people that lives in the city, in the country. So when the problem was proposed to her, she said that she didn't hire this guy because they were 15 who were judged better than him. So she feels that it's not fair to include this person and exclude one of the others. And it's very important to do what we say that what they say they're going to do. That's the position of Christina. The director says, for other part, that his name is Rodriguez Hunter. Uh, he feels different. He had like all the ideas that all the Argentinian people has, like we said before, like hierarchical patterns. Also, all this corruption, all of this idea that no matter how you have one goal, the important is of change that, no matter how. So he felt that it's important to make sure that the person was accepted into the program. So he tried to convince the other person to accept the candidate and pick him as one of the interests directly. Because also he has like the point of view as a sales director that is important connection that maybe gives them the opportunity of increasing revenues and market share. So he replied that it's important to have this person because the government formulary maybe increase sales by 5 million a year. So he thinks that the change in the decision didn't harm anyone and can help MSD to be like a better company in the country. And the last one is Iberin. As we said, the manager of training and development that is in charge of this inter program. And she had like doubts because she was raised in this conflictive environment of Argentina. So she she has like these ideas of hierarchical organizations, concentrate decisions, and all of this. But in the other part, when she entered to MSD, she feels very empathetic with the ideas that the CEO introduced in the company. So she is like very hesitating about her position. He didn't know what to say. And I think from as my perspective, that it's important that they follow what they meant to be. They need to show all they want to give to the company in actions. First of all, because they have like a list of personal values that guide all the progress in the company. For example, integrity, respect, professionalism, persistence, teamwork, empathy, being open-minded. And I think that the most important here is integrity. And the part that they say, lead with example. Practice what you preach. So if the company needs to follow this, I think that all of them need to decline the acceptance of this intern because they didn't have the bond to for enter in the intern program. So for me, that's the decision they need to take.
We're going to talk about the solution for the Merck case. In this case, they have a particular issue with a candidate that it's from a high-end family and has a parent that works with the government and that can help them, well, the Merck and Sharp company in Argentina, to gain more market participation and gain a competitive advantage. We have four actors. The intern, which name is not mentioned, Mosquera, which is like the CEO, Risk, which is the human director, and finally we have Hunter, which is the sales director. We know that Hunter wants the intern to get in the organization because that can help increase the sales. Risk, she doesn't know what to do, and Mosquera, which is the CEO, is mainly concerned from the start when he came to the company about the ethical behavior. So, what we came to conclude from this case is that mainly according to what the CEO wants and the new culture that the organization wants, that he wants to be a completely ethical organization and wants that to be like a main part of its culture and became its culture as such. Um, well, considering this, we cannot accept we think that they should not accept the candidate no matter what good position may come from it, what the competitive advantage may Merck and Sharp get from this, and that mainly the cultural behavior, well, the organization, the cultural part of the organization, the culture of the organization, has to be in top of everything else, including the fact that you want to increase your sales. So this is why we think that they should not accept. Well, it is true that it's like he got one step below the cut because they were accepting 15 candidates and he was number 16. So it's not like a bigger deal. It would be much a bigger deal if he was the 30th candidate. But the problem is that this can start creating a bad part for the company, because if they do it like small things, then the other parts will start saying like, oh well, it's not that big a deal. We could do this, or no, we could do this, and stuff like that. So that's not pretty good, and that can well, that can be pretty bad for the company and its image as such.